What is going on, everyone? Today is Thursday, January 30th. When you are listening to this, me and Mackie are here to recap. Obviously, we have our official Super Bowl matchup set between the Chiefs and Eagles. We'll get into that a little bit this week, a little more next week when we have Ace and Jesse back with us. But we'll definitely touch on that, recap these NFC and AFC Championship games. A lot going on in the world of college basketball, NBA trade deadline next week. So, a lot of talk going on there in the NBA. Mackie, how things been with you? Just me and you this week. Obviously, like I said, Super Bowl's finally set. How are we feeling?
Yeah, not bad. We had some good NFC AFC conference championship games. And obviously we ended up with Chiefs Eagles like a lot of people expected. But yeah, we have a good one set up for us. Other than that, Rangers looking a little better. They've dropped two straight. Can't slide again. Knicks look good. College basketball is in full swing. We've been kind of sliding on the card a little, but not really worried about that right now. Other than that, not much going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll stick with the NFL. Obviously, like we said, recap some of these divisional or conference championship games. We had the Eagles defeating the Commanders 55-23 to move on to their second Super Bowl in the past three seasons. Barkley and Hurts leading the way for these Eagles. They set a playoff rushing record with 17 rushing touchdowns. Hurts and Saquon each respectively had three. What were your
Bullshit, please.
biggest takeaways from that game? I mean, they looked kind of unstoppable. Was that a little too big of a moment for those Commanders, or do you think the Eagles are that good?
I think it was too big of a moment for that Commanders defense for sure. I think Jaden Daniels didn't play bad. Obviously, he didn't do enough. I think he had the one turnover. Um, but he didn't play bad. He put up 23 points against a really good Eagles defense in the link in the NFC Championship game. So you can't really shit on him for that. I just think the Eagles offense was overwhelming. I think Saquon was overwhelming. I think the offensive line gave him massive holes to run through. Um, and the Eagles just did what they do best, and they just ran all over them. But 7 rushing touchdowns is ridiculous. When Jalen Hurts needed to use his arm, he was able to use his arm. He was able to find A.J. Brown downfield for a 35, 40-yard catch, dot right in his arms. A.J. Brown also had a receiving touchdown. So it's that team is more than legs. I mean, they can move the ball downfield as well. That defense is top 5 in the league as well. So they're gonna be really scary going into this next game.
I thought it was like a ball don't lie moment whenever they took Saquon out and Shipley broke one, and then he gets in the end zone too. I'm like, yeah, damn, they couldn't stop. It wasn't even just Saquon; they just can't stop the run. That Commanders defense, but I
Yeah.
mean, we're gassing up. They have some names. They'll be around in the near future. Their Super Bowl windows. I mean, no one expected it to come this fast, and I definitely think that window's open. They have some money to play with in free agency. I don't think that's the last you'll see of this Commanders team, but
Just build up that defense, and they'll be
that's
good.
all they got to do. Get him maybe one more weapon on offense and just draft defensive guys.
Yep.
But obviously, like we said, the Eagles move on. Second Super Bowl in the past 3 years, and it's going to be a rematch against the Chiefs, who have yet again defeated the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Kansas City winning 32-29. Mahomes leading the way for the Chiefs, obviously, with 245 yards passing, 43 rushing, and three total touchdowns, two of them being rushing touchdowns. I know we were talking about that in the live stream. Haas actually ended up taking it at the plus 500. But however, this Chiefs defense stepping up with the fourth down to clinch the game in the end. After watching this game, I thought this was going to be the time it happens. Are they ever going to be able to beat Kansas City in the playoffs, or is this just going to be a one-sided rivalry similar to what Brady did with all these good quarterbacks over the past however many years?
I saw a tweet, it was a Bills fan, and it said, "We'll be back. We won't win, but we'll be back."
Yeah,
That's basically the story of their rivalry,
rivalry,
I
quote
guess.
unquote. Yeah, if you want to call it
Um,
a rivalry.
they keep getting there, keep falling just short. I think 3 out of 4 games were by the nose. Um, Everyone wants to say this game was rigged. This game wasn't rigged. The Chiefs won. Sean McDermott decided to run a QB sneak 11 times this game and maybe got 2.5, 3 yards in those 11
When
plays.
James Cook was having an absolute all-time game too.
Yeah, terrible coaching decisions down the stretch. I get it, trust your quarterback, but it's not there. The Chiefs' front seven is too good. Stop forcing it. Um, that probably lost in this game. The fourth down, the controversial fourth down. I don't think there's clear cut evidence that the ball crossed the plane. I think you can assume it did, maybe, but it was closer than people think. And then, that Chiefs defense just stepping up. Mahomes getting the job done. I know he had that one fumble, but he did what he does best, and he drives downfield when it matters, puts points on the board. But no knock to Josh Allen. Josh Allen did about just everything he could. supporting cast wasn't the best all season. We've been saying that. I think it got a little overlooked as they had so much success, but he really just had James Cook to work with. Um, can't really put that loss on him.
Absolutely. I thought that was a great game. It definitely lived up to the hype. I didn't end up taking a side in that one. I wanted the Bills to win just to get a different matchup, but I am excited for this rematch now. Kind of looking into this game a little bit, at least some of the plays that I'm kind of eyeing. But I did want to go through kind of the opening line because I'm curious if it's going to be the same line we have next week. Not that I think it'll move much. I don't think it'll at any point get the Chiefs -3, but right now we're sitting at -1.5 for Kansas City, over under at 49.5. Chiefs money line -130. Eagles +110. Just kind of initial reaction. Which way are you leaning for the Super Bowl? Do you stick with these Chiefs?
I just think it would be absolutely insane to bet against Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. Like, why would you do that? History repeats itself. They just keep winning. Um, I saw head coaches going up against each other for the second time in the Super Bowl. The person who won the first game is
Wins the
six and
second time
zero.
too.
Right? Yeah, they've never lost.
I think
Um,
I'm convincing myself into the Eagles, and here's kind of why. It's more the idea that I think these teams will see each other again in a Super Bowl the next. I don't know if it's going to be next year. It's easy to say the same two teams are going to go back, but these are two teams that are set up for the next few years to be in this picture. Wouldn't surprise me to see another rematch. I think if the Eagles get this one, they'd love to see the all right best 2 out of 3, however many years. I'm not saying it's going to be next year, but I took the Eagles 2 years ago. Obviously, whenever they played, we know how that worked out. The holding call by Bradbury at the end. The Eagles were in that game. They basically won that game until the holding. And I mean, Mahomes was going to get his. He was going to figure it out. But that's just how it ended up happening. But
yeah,
I
very
think
weak
this,
holding call. I remember that.
yeah, I think this Eagles team is so fucking good. I just think if Mahomes is going to play like Mahomes does in the Super Bowl, could this be a similar scenario to like when we saw him play the Bucs? Obviously, that was so long ago, but I think there's value in this Eagles team. Seeing this Eagles team at plus money right now is crazy, but this is the only team you would see them at plus money against.
Yeah, I can't get behind betting against Mahomes. I can't do it. I think you'll just you'll just feel like a straight idiot if you bet against Mahomes. Then
See, I'll also be
like everyone
I'm
was
in like a
saying,
lose-lose situation because if I bet the Chiefs and the Eagles win, I'm gonna be like sick. So I took the Eagles the first time they played. That lost. I did hit the first touchdowns in that game, so I really didn't give a fuck about who won. Um, then this game, if I took the Chiefs and the Eagles won, I'd be like 0 for 2,
I
and I
knew
did
it.
take two
Yeah,
different teams. You know what I mean?
yeah.
At this point, I'm like, fuck it. I think I'm just gonna ride the Eagles again.
Yeah, my main thing about the Chiefs is that everyone always bets against them, and then they're like, the refs are on their side. They've been doing it all season. Well, who's the idiot betting against the team
Yeah,
that has the
yeah.
refs
You're
on
the
their
one trying to
side?
call it. Yeah.
Just like bet on them then. If it's that rigged, then bet on them. It's just really
It's
funny.
different when it was an 8-point spread all regular season when we were saying they don't
Yeah,
cover
you
these
get
spreads.
pick'ems now.
Like,
You're getting 1 point pick'ems, and
yeah,
like that last game, so many Bills. There's like so many bandwagon Bills fans around me, and they're all like, "This game is so rigged," and I'm like, "Dude, just
mhm.
like, why didn't you bet on them then?" Like, they have the refs on their side, as you say.
So do you think it's Mahomes a free pick for the MVP?
No, because you could see a real defensive game. Maybe Chris Jones gets 3 sacks and he takes the reign. But I mean, on offense, who else would get it realistically?
Yeah, I think if Kelsey gets 2 touchdowns, he could get it and retire.
What, 2 touchdowns and 17 yards?
Like, I don't even think he would have to do that much if they win the game like 23 to
Yeah,
17 and there's
he'll
only
pause
three
on the field and
touchdowns.
announce his retirement after. Yeah, storybook ending. I think Disney would have a field day with
I
that one.
I mean, we've seen how much they love to give him the media. I could see them if he's in the conversation. I could see it go to him, and that's good value at 15 to 1 on the Chiefs' second best player.
You're not wrong. Because if it's not Mahomes on offense, it's gonna be him. But I think
Yeah,
Chris Jones has value as well.
unless someone else had like a Worthy had 2 touchdowns and broke one for like 70
Yeah,
yards.
they would just give it to Mahomes at that point.
Yeah,
Not giving
yeah.
Xavier Worthy Super Bowl
Yeah, I mean
MVP.
there's been a bunch. Like I remember when Seattle won theirs. Malcolm Smith was Super Bowl MVP.
And, Cooper Kupp won it too, but you're talking
Yeah,
about, like, all-star players, not talking about Xavier Worthies.
yeah, not exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm
That'll
saying.
come back like
Travis Kelsey fits that narrative.
that'll exactly, like, that'll come back like Iguodala winning 2015 MVP,
Yeah, who
Finals
are the? Let's
MVP.
look back at the most recent
We
Super
could
Bowl
probably talk
MVPs.
we could probably remember it. Last year was Mahomes. Year before that, Mahomes. Year before that, Cooper Kupp. You prefer that Tom Brady?
Yeah, I got the whole list pulled up
Can I
here.
try to do it? Can I try to go to 2010?
Yeah, go ahead. It's Mahomes. You missed Cooper Cup, but you said
I
that
said
earlier, so
I
I'll
said
give you that.
Cup, yeah. Cup, Brady,
Brady?
um, defensive player won it in 2019. I know they did. Malcolm Butler,
No, just it was Mahomes again. It was another Chiefs Super Bowl.
2019. Oh, 2018 was the Patriots, right?
Yeah,
Who was that?
Edelman,
Oh, fuck, you're right. Edelman did win it. All right,
Eagles,
Nick Foles,
New England,
yeah, Tom Brady,
Denver.
Von Miller.
There's your defensive
Von
player.
Miller won it that year.
New England was Brady again in
Brady.
Super Bowl 49. Malcolm Smith, Seattle. Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Santonio Holmes, going back to the Steelers in 2009.
And then Eli won it in 2007, I think.
Yeah, and Peyton Manning won it the year before, and then Hines
2008.
Ward.
Yep. Not bad.
Both times the Steelers have won a Super Bowl in my lifetime. It's been a wide receiver win the MVP. I didn't realize that.
Damn, Ben couldn't get one, huh?
It's because both of those plays they did in the Seattle play.
You've seen two?
Yeah, Super Bowl 40 was when I was in like fourth, third grade.
That's 2009.
No, that's 43.
Did you win 2006?
We won 2006, 2009, and then we lost in 2010 to the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because both of the Super Bowl 43 one was they gave it to Holmes because that catch he made to win it.
Yeah.
And then
So
the Hines Ward one was
the
the game-winning touchdown was a pass thrown by Antoine Randall on like a trick play. So Ben didn't even throw that ball. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I probably could have named most of these. If you at least told me the matchup, I could know. Because like,
Yeah, I just gotta remember the matchup.
you just got to remember. You just got to remember how many times the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl and how many times the Patriots have. And just other than Tom Brady, you're just guessing Mahomes, Brady, or I mean, other than Edelman, every time it's Chiefs or Patriots, just guess Brady and Mahomes, and you're right.
Yeah. The one slip up is Von Miller that you gotta remember.
Yeah.
And Malcolm Smith.
Yeah, there's not many defensive guys. I mean, he had 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 1 pass defended in that game. Damn, it has their stat lines here in the games, too. That's pretty sick. Mahomes won it last year with 333 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Went to OT, too.
Yeah. The year before, he won it with 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. They just want to give it to him.
3 touchdowns is a lot, though.
Yeah, true. Kupp had 8 catches, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
That was his Triple Crown year, too.
Yeah.
So they had no problem giving it to him. Yeah,
So it was like
Edelman
had 10 catches, 141 yards, and he had that huge...
He had that catch. Yeah. The one that was inches from the ground.
What did Santonio Holmes have? 9 catches, 131 yards, and in the game-winning touchdown. 5 catches, 123. Yeah, all right. So for a receiver to win it, they almost have to get 100 yards.
Yeah, for sure. And at least,
or in Kupp's case, you get 2 touchdowns instead of the 100 yards.
What did he get? Like 93?
92.
Yeah, so you're basically there.
So basically, you have to have 90-plus yards.
And a Triple Crown to back it up.
Yeah. You have to have 90-plus yards and at least a touchdown. It could be considered for the MVP for a receiver. Yeah, maybe not Kelsey. I would... every time it's a Super Bowl, I just take whoever I think is going to win as quarterback because it's always plus money. In this case, if I bet the Eagles, I mean, yeah, if I bet the Eagles, I think it's going to be Barkley.
Exactly, you got to be careful.
That's what's sketchy.
But even last game, I mean, Saquon obviously had a great game, but other than a 60-yard run, he didn't do much.
No,
I think he finished with like 118.
Hurts. Like if they give a MVP for that game, it was probably going to be Hurts. Other than like you said, the big yard run. Like Saquon didn't go crazy in that game. That's crazy to say that he had 118 yards rushing, and we're like, yeah, he didn't play in 3 touchdowns. We're like, yeah, dude. He could do better.
Yeah, dude. I took him 2+, and that was the easiest bet I've ever cashed.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
You think he can do that in the Super Bowl?
No, I think he's playing a lot tougher defense.
I think the Chiefs will box him up.
Chiefs are gonna do everything to box him up. They're gonna have a ball hawk on Jalen Hurts too. But like I said, Jalen Hurts can sling that football, so you get those one-on-ones on the outside.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. This isn't the matchup I wanted. Obviously, anyone that's like, I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl. I don't want to see those teams play. It's like you're gonna watch.
You're gonna watch it.
and you're gonna enjoy
You're
it.
gonna go to
But
a Super Bowl party and you're gonna have a good time.
exactly, it's like un-American to not watch a Super Bowl. I can't say I'm rooting for either of these teams, but
Chiefs. As a
I
Cowboys fan, I have to root for the Chiefs.
yeah,
They'll be keeping me from 2 Eagles Super Bowls, a Niners Super Bowl. I mean, you can't ask for much more.
yeah, they just kill your rivals in the NFC.
Yeah, 'cause we can't get there, so
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel when they play the Ravens. So I know what you mean. All right, let's see here. Yeah, other than that, we'll get more into some of the props and like all the player props, touchdowns, all that stuff next week when there's kind of more accurate odds out there for what we're going to be looking at. But the only other thing in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars have officially hired Bucks head coach or Bucks offensive coordinator Liam Cohen to be the franchise's next head coach. He immediately went viral in his introductory press conference for his shout out to Duval County when telling them to get ready for the season. Did you see this clip?
I did not.
Oh my god, I gotta send it to you right now. Just look up,
This is where
go on Instagram or TikTok and look up Jags head coach Duval. It'll come right up.
this is where we have to be able to, like, clip it on screen.
Yeah, I wish. I mean, we probably could. I could tell Jesse to put it in here, but I was gonna save one and send it to you. But look up just Cohen Coen Duval. It'll come right up. It's brutal. Hold it up to the mic. He said that in a press conference, and I was like expecting to get people like fired up, dude.
That's so awkward, dude.
Yeah,
What is he
it's
doing?
not. That's not a good look, in my
Oh
opinion.
my everyone just, like, got that awkward laugh going on after. It's
Everyone's. I
hilarious.
saw someone say, "You better just hope this guy's so socially awkward. He's so good at coaching football
Yeah.
or calling plays or something." It was funny.
Those are the
But
best guys too.
yeah, the only coaching position left open is the Saints. And supposedly they think it's going to be what's your boy that went from Dallas is now Philly's offensive coordinator,
Um, Kellen
quarterback.
Moore?
Yeah,
Kellen Moore?
Kellen Moore.
Jesus
That's who they
Christ.
think is going to be the
That
Saints.
that is brutal. What, 'cause Kellen Moore has one good year with the best offense he's ever had?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They
Brutal.
said I forget who it was pulled their name out. McCarthy pulled his name out of the Saints. He doesn't want the Saints.
McCarthy's taking a year off.
And Kingsbury pulled his name out of the Saints.
Wow.
So they said it's basically Joe Brady or what's his name? Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Yeah.
But we'll see what comes of that as we move towards probably. I mean, they'll have to have a coach before the NFL draft, so something will come in the next few weeks. But we'll jump over to the NHL real quick, touch on our power rankings, then we'll move into the NBA with our power rankings as well, and some trade deadline topics to discuss. But the NHL, our power rankings this week go as follows: the Dallas Stars at 5, Hurricanes at 4, Oilers at 3, the Jets at 2, and the Capitals remaining at 1. How are we feeling about this list? We've seen a lot of fluctuation in our NHL list this year, but
Yeah, it's holding strong.
Vegas has been sliding. There's been a couple of these teams moving on. Capitals obviously still playing really good hockey. Is there I think 8-1-1 in their last 10 or
Yep.
something like that. So,
Playing
but what do
great.
you think about this list?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great list. I think you can make a case for Vegas, obviously, but um, there's about 6 to 7 teams that are in that top 5 right now, so you gotta squeeze them in.
Damn, Vegas lost last night to Dallas.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we had a rough night in the NHL last night. Caps are holding strong though. That team, everyone keeps counting them out, especially Ace. They don't lose much, so gotta be careful with them.
I think they're a dream scenario for someone to see as a wild card too, though.
That's
If they can,
exactly what Ace said, but I don't know anymore. I don't know. They have a goalie that doesn't lose much. I mean,
like
um,
you, I feel like that's exactly who you'd want to see. Like I'm saying, like the Penguins are so bad, they're
I
literally
know.
second in the East. But like that's who I'd want to see if I could sneak in somehow. Is the Capitals? I wouldn't want
And
to see
that's
the
probably
Brewer.
who we would get if we sneak
Yeah,
in. And I
yeah,
think we will end up sneaking in. We're playing a
you guys will
little.
get in.
I don't know, man. It's getting close. 32 games left.
I think Senators will slide back out. Um, Boston or Tampa Bay will take that spot in the Atlantic, and you guys will get a wild card with probably Boston.
Damn, dude. Senators are playing really good. I don't know. You're gonna see one of Rangers, Boston, Senators out of the
Columbus and
playoffs.
Detroit aren't making it.
Yeah, Montreal's good though too. Can't sleep on them.
They're on a 3-game skid.
And Columbus, I don't know. I feel like it's something with Johnny Hockey. They're gonna find a way to sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely tightening up. There's a lot of, I mean, what is it? There. The Lightning are in. Oh, Blue Jackets have a game played on them. They have the same amount of points. And then Detroit's 2 points out behind. You guys are
Yeah,
3.
Boston has the games played. So if we say we won out, we'd be tied with Boston. So they're kind of like out of a playoff spot right now, assuming the Jackets get 2 points in their next 2 games. Or yeah, Jackets are right there with 2 games
Yeah.
in. I don't know. It's gonna be a really tough stretch down the last 32 games. I think you're gonna see Detroit fall out. I think you could see Columbus fall out, but I don't know. I think you're gonna see at least one of the Rangers or Bruins not make the playoffs.
I'm looking at the West side now. I haven't really looked much at any of this. Winnipeg, Dallas, Minnesota. Minnesota started to slide in the Central. Edmonton, Vegas. Those are going to be the 1-2 there. LA hasn't been playing great. I faded them tonight. I hope they lose tonight.
Yeah, but LA will get in.
LA will get in. I think they'll be a wild card.
No, I think they'll hold that 3rd spot in the Pacific. I mean, they have the Flames to worry about. It's really I
Is
guess
Vancouver Pacific? I could see them get in.
Vancouver's right there too, but they have 2 games in hand on them and 4 points, so
Yeah.
they slip up. I guess there's a lot of hockey left.
Yeah. Yeah, they're basically what 60, 55% of the way done with the season, like just across the halfway point.
Right around, yeah.
When's the All-Star game? That Four Nations face-off's coming up.
It's gotta be soon. February 10th, 11th, I think.
So the day after the Super Bowl?
Look at the schedule. There's no games on February 10th and 11th.
That's when the Four Nations face-off starts.
Okay, and then February 17th, there's no games until February 22nd. So
That's crazy. There's that long of a break.
Four Nations is February 17th. It's in the NHL category. That's crazy. February 12th to February 22nd is the Four Nations. Got it?
Yeah, okay.
And then I don't know when the All-Star game would be.
Did they do an All-Star game with this Four Nations face-off?
Maybe not. Maybe that is their like weekend off.
That would make sense.
They don't. You're right.
Did you look it up? That says
Well,
nothing?
I'm just looking at. Hold on.
I haven't even looked into any of that. I just kind of was asking a general question. I didn't even know. They might not be doing it.
They're not.
There's no All-Star.
2025 NHL Four Nations face-off will take place in February 2025. NHL All-Star Weekend will not be held in 2024-25 season.
So I assume they're still being named All-Stars. They're just not playing the game.
I don't know. I feel like the NHL doesn't give a shit about that. They might not even do it.
Yeah, but like for the guys that are like consecutive streaks, you want to have that. You know what I mean?
What do you look for, Crosby?
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of guys like that.
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe. Probably.
Crosby doesn't give a fuck about All-Stars. You're right. None of those guys care about it.
Exactly.
But I just feel like it's more for like the cool streaks that are like,
yeah,
this guy's made it the past 19 years or whatever, 17. Like Ovechkin, I bet he's made it
every year.
I was gonna say every year. If not, maybe missed 1 or 2 because of injury. But, yeah, not much else in the NHL. As like we said, Four Nations face-offs coming up. We'll cover that a little bit more in the coming weeks after the Super Bowl. But we'll move into the NBA with the trade deadline coming up. Our power rankings in the NBA are the Celtics at 5, your New York Knicks at 4, Houston Rockets at 3, the Cleveland Cavaliers at 2, and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 1. Celtics dropping one of the Rockets the other night. Knicks playing the Nuggets tonight. That might have already started, but by the time you're listening to this, that game will be over. What are you thinking about this top 5? Your Knicks back above Aces Celtics. They're turning on at the right time. They weren't in the list last week. They're back in at number 4. How are we feeling over there at MSG?
Yeah, Knicks are a little streaky. They need to beat the better teams to really prove something to me. I think they definitely have a losing record against the teams we have ahead of them. Um, but Celtics are very beatable right now. Knicks are playing a little better basketball. I think those top three teams, the Rockets, I mean, you can't count them out. They're right there. And then obviously the 1 and 2, OKC and Cleveland, they don't even have 10 losses yet. So gotta keep them at 1 and 2. But the Rockets are playing incredible basketball, probably the best basketball in the league right now.
They're so fun to watch. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but um, they were one of these teams in the hunt for Jimmy Butler. But this saga continues as he remains suspended from the team indefinitely. I think I saw his third suspension since requesting the trade. As he's awaiting a trade on the NBA trade deadline coming on Thursday, February 6th at 3 p.m. Um, I was saying, what do you think about this situation? If you were another team or contender and you see what's going on with this, are you even thinking about bringing in Jimmy Butler? Like, if you're the Houston Rockets and you have a young team, everything's working right now, everything's clicking. Everyone's like, we need to make a move. We got to be buyers at the deadline. We have a chance at this. Like, Jimmy Butler's not a guy I'm thinking about bringing in with this situation, the way he's acting with the Heat.
If you're the Houston Rockets, no chance you're bringing a guy like Jimmy Butler. If you're a team like the Warriors and you need something like Jimmy Butler, yeah, definitely. And I think he's definitely killing his value here. And I know he's on under
And how
contract.
many teams he said he won't play for? Like, you don't have a no trade clause, dude. Like,
You're not that good anymore.
yeah.
You're not good enough to be able to tell Pat Riley, I want to go here. I'm not going
I don't
anywhere
know if
else.
he was ever like
He might
that good to begin with. Like
I mean, with
there's
the whole bubble and the playoff Jimmy thing, I think he carried a lot of weight. He played really good in Philly when they lost to the
like I think there's few guys in the world that can be like, I won't play for that team.
There's more than you think in the NBA. I think they all have egos and they kinda get their way and the
Yeah,
NBA
yeah,
buys into it. And Jimmy Butler was able to do that before, but no chance is he good. Pat Riley literally told him, he was like, "You're not good enough anymore to tell me where you wanna go and when.
yeah.
You wanna
He
sit
said he
out,
wouldn't
sit
play
out.
for the
You wanna lose
Grizzlies. He said
money?"
he wouldn't play for the Mavericks. Said he wouldn't play for the Rockets. Like you're telling me you wouldn't go play for this Rockets team right now if they fucking put him in that starting
He
lineup?
doesn't wanna
He'd be
go live in
immediately a
Houston.
top 3 team in the West.
Yeah, he's got a bit of an ego that's gotta get checked, but
I would not want the Rockets to trade for him and ruin that.
no, I don't think the Rockets ever would. I think the Warriors should still trade for him, though.
Yeah,
I think they need him.
yeah, that wouldn't be a
They're
bad
going
move.
through shambles right now.
The other big move, sticking with the trade deadline, is the Kings have made it known that they could be willing to trade star guard De'Aaron Fox before next Thursday's trade deadline. The San Antonio Spurs have emerged as the favorite to land Fox. Could you see this kind of happening? The Fox and Wemby duo jump-starting the Spurs kind of path to success, and waiting to rebuild that team till free agency. They can go get a guy at the deadline right now. They're in the playoffs. They're playing right now. If it starts, I believe. I'm not saying they're going to go be buyers to go win a title, but I saw they have 12 draft picks in the next 7 years, and they have some of the most offloadable contracts, is what Windhorst said. So they think the Spurs are going to be able to land De'Aaron Fox and give them the package that the Kings are looking for. But they said 90% chance if De'Aaron Fox goes to San Antonio, they'll have to lose Stephon Castle in the deal.
You can't give up a guy like Stephon Castle. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
20 years old, and he's hooping out there. He's got so much to learn. I mean, I guess De'Aaron
So it's
Fox.
basically you're trading one of your young core
You're,
pieces that you could have for the next 10 years and maybe 2 picks to get a guy that's a bona fide already, like one of the best in his position right now.
and for I don't know. I think that's
Then
a
like
very.
CP3 becomes like your six man.
I think that would be very dumb. I actually wouldn't be surprised if De'Aaron Fox doesn't get moved.
I thought it was weird they're thinking about moving him.
Yeah, I mean they're sitting right there. They're ahead
I
of the
don't think he's
Spurs
going to
right now,
re-sign there next year, so they're trying to just get something
and
for
the
him while
Spurs
they
are
can.
trying to get a jump on signing him. That's exactly what it is. It's just tough time to do it. You lose too much.
I
You
think the Spurs. I think the Spurs are going to try everything they can to just offload picks and keep Castle and get Fox.
If the Spurs have to give up Castle for him, it's terrible. Terrible play. Terrible play. I love Stephon Castle. I think he's a great investment. I think getting rid of him for De'Aaron Fox would not be the move.
I think there's other moves they can make. And I mean, like they have so many picks. Like they're just going to keep. They're going to be like what the Thunder just did.
Yeah, just load up on draft picks.
Just keep doing it. They have 12 in the next 7 years, first round picks.
It's funny because there's only 15 guys on a roster.
Yeah. So they could draft a whole nother team in the next 7 years,
Yeah, like, what
basically.
do you do with all those picks? I don't get it. I guess
They
you
just
use
end
them
up trading them
yeah, you just use them as leverage.
because they were saying they have a protected pick from the Hawks and a protected pick from another team that's really bad. That's like a guaranteed top 10 pick. So that's like their valuable one that they said the Kings are going to want. I forget whose pick it is, but they said it's a protected top 10 pick. It would be that, probably a first round pick next year. The Spurs have 2 first round picks this year and 2 next year. So basically, they could trade 1 and 1 and still have a pick in each year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Or they can
I
draft
don't.
back to back or whatever they get, and
Yeah, exactly. Get 2 players, and you're just an extremely young
they could
team, and
use it with CP3 probably out the door next year.
they'll be ready in 3 years, probably 2, 3 years. But I mean, Wemby's ready right now. I see why they're like, maybe we go get another star, but
Dude,
um,
they could be good next year.
yeah,
They could be good if they do
they
if
have
they
so
play
much
their
money to
cards
spend in
right.
free agency too because they haven't had to pay anybody.
They play their cards right, they could be good next year.
Yeah, and they've been known to have good management, and they'll figure out a way to keep that young core around. I think, like you said, the one that surprised me was when they traded the pick to the Timberwolves and they drafted Dillingham. I thought that would have been a great trio: Dillingham, Castle, and Wemby. Like you have your young 3 guys
Dillingham's
for the
hooping
next,
too.
huh?
Dillingham's hooping too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is I was surprised they traded that pick to the Timberwolves. The
Yeah,
Timberwolves immediately picked him.
yeah. Yeah, they're probably licking their lips for that one.
Yeah, that was probably like when the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor and the Vikings were like
Like, he
Justin
started
Jefferson, Justin Jefferson,
started
Justin Jefferson.
cracking up. They're like, "No way,
Yeah.
clown organization."
I mean, it's a little different. They didn't pass on him; they traded them the pick. But
Yeah.
or more like when the Bills traded the pick for Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs, who just had a touchdown against you in the AFC Championship. But um, yeah, it's pretty quick episode. The other thing we'll touch on is some college basketball. WVU with a big one tonight against Houston. I don't know the score of that
They're
one right
down
now.
they're down 11 last I checked.
Yeah, they were an 8.5 point dog. They're now down 20 at halftime.
Dude,
Um,
these guys, oh my god,
they're
man.
so inconsistent. It's so
They're in
frustrating.
shambles right now.
You get ranked, they lose.
Maryland up
They're
1.5.
unranked, they win. I thought this was a game that they'd be able to hang around just because every time they're unranked, they beat a good team. But I was like, they already have a couple big wins. Houston's going to come to Morgantown and
Houston's
absolutely roll
defense
them tonight.
Houston's defense is just not like they're just not for this planet.
Yeah,
Like I
I
have
was
no
just
words for them.
I was going to say if you want to go through that top 5, I have it in the outline. If you have the outline pulled up, if not, I can read through it.
Yeah, I got it right here. Top 5 power rankings college basketball. I have Auburn at number 1, Duke at number 2, Houston at number 3, Iowa State number 4, 5, Alabama. Beyond that, we have Florida at 6, Michigan State at 7, Tennessee at 8, Marquette at 9, Texas A&M sneaks in at 10. Even with that tough loss to Texas, they find their way. A lot of those bottom teams, Kansas, Purdue, they all have
Tennessee
losses as
Tennessee
well.
losing last night.
Tennessee Tennessee did
Iowa State with one of the ugliest, most heartbreaking losses I've seen in a while with that Caleb Love game tying 3.
These were also made before those games,
Yeah.
but Tennessee respectable loss last week to Auburn, 2-point loss in Auburn, so you can't drop them too much there. Iowa State,
Kentucky, and then Kentucky's a hot team who came into Knoxville last night and beat them.
Kentucky's just a better West Virginia. They're the most inconsistent team. They're just that team has shooters, man. They could score at will. No Lamont Butler last night. They go into
And they
Tennessee,
still did it.
grab
Yeah.
a 10-point win. They weren't letting that one get away. Other teams at the top, I have Houston at 3. A lot of people have Houston at 6. I think this team's highly overrated. They lost 3 games early in the season, 1 to Auburn and 1 to Iowa State, I think. 2 top 5
top
teams,
5
and
teams.
then they
Yeah.
lost to like San Diego State as well in a neutral site. But since then, I mean that defense is otherworldly. There's nothing like it in college basketball. They have guys like LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp. They can shoot the ball from the outside. They had an incredible comeback win against Kansas last week. Down 6, 5 seconds
I
left.
had Kansas money line in that game when Kansas was up 7 in the first overtime.
Dude,
They were up,
listen,
they were up 6 with
Up
like
6.
15 seconds left.
Up 6, 2 free throws, missed both free throws. Houston goes down, hits a three,
Back-to-back
5
threes,
seconds
forced the
left.
double overtime, and as soon as that happened, I knew I was going to lose.
Oh my God, Kansas blew that more than Houston won that. But I mean, you got to give it to Houston for hitting their shots as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. That team's top 3 in the country, if you're asking me.
Yeah, they're fucking good. Obviously, they're doing it again tonight, but yeah, I think it's a solid list. Like you said, we were sliding a little bit in the world of college basketball. We got a couple plays going tonight. By the time you're listening to this, they will be over, but make sure you're staying tuned to our social media. Don't miss out on any of these free plays. Next week, we'll get a little bit more in depth with Super Bowl. I think it's 59 because 57 was the last time the Eagles and Chiefs played each other. So we'll dive into Super Bowl 59 a little more with Jesse and Ace. Maybe we can even get Haas on here. Stay tuned. They're going to be doing a live stream this Saturday or Sunday, similar time to go through the NHL, NBA slate. Ask them any questions you got going on there. Fantasy hockey, fantasy basketball. Ace plays all those, so hit him with those questions. But we'll be also, like I said, next week. You can catch us on Thursday for the normal podcast going through the Super Bowl, all of our picks, game props, novelty props. We'll go through it all next week. Touchdown scores, everything that you want for Super Bowl 59. We'll also be doing our live stream Sunday before the Super Bowl to give out our official picks, our official plays on Super Bowl 59. But other than that, like I said, we got some college basketball plays going tonight, NHL plays. Make sure you're staying tuned for all that. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram, HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. Make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.